And a jolly good morning to you from a beautiful, sunny and very warm London. Just outside Blackfriars Station on the edge of the City of London. It's very noisy this morning. There's lots of people going about the business. Lots of building work going on, in particular just behind this tree here. Luckily they're not knocking down the Blackfriars pub, but they seem to be building and working on something next door to it. Anyway, today I'm going to take a nice little one-way walk from Blackfriars to Little Venice. It's up near Paddington, so the same walk could apply if you wanted to walk between this part of London and Paddington Station. But I'm going to actually go and visit Little Venice because there's a couple of coffee shops there where I can have a break before I head back this way on the tube later on. So let's set off. Start of the walk begins walking by the River Thames on the north side next to Victoria Embankment. Normally you can walk on the just over on the other side there near the Blackfriars Millennium Pier, but there's a lot of building work and so on, redevelopment going on just over there by the riverside, and it's completely out of bounds at the moment. So to start with, at least you have to walk on the opposite side of the road to the river on embankment here, and which isn't the best, but once we get going down here a little bit and can cross over just by those traffic lights, it'll be directly next to the river and a far more pleasurable experience. Just to give you a context, we're heading in a kind of a westerly direction, and just if you take a right turn here just up there through the alleyway, you'll come out on Fleet Street. So we're going to run parallel to Fleet Street and the Strand for the first part of this walk, and then we'll cut in away from the river and head up towards I think towards Kensington Gardens and up towards Paddington and then Little Venice. As I say, it should take about an hour and 40 minutes, probably 2 hours, with little stops along the way to have a look at things. So it should be a nice walk. It's a very warm day here in London today. It's been chilly for a few weeks, or a lot cooler than it should be at least, and but it's certainly brightened up today and got a lot warmer. You can see all the cranes over there. It really is obscuring the view with the London Eye there. Oxo Tower. And there you can see that that's I'm not actually sure what it's going to be, but it's I thought it was going to be another pier put in. It certainly extended it quite a long way into the water. It gradually gets bigger, but it's been on the go for quite some time now. Right, so over by the riverside now as opposed to the other side of the road. Temperature seems about 10 degrees cooler over here. Just get that kind of cool breeze off the river, and not so many car fumes or vehicle fumes. Over there it's just hideous. Although saying that, there are a couple of little gardens and parks that you can walk through just over there and sit down that are quite pleasant actually once you're in them. You wouldn't realise that you were quite this close to a busy main road. Just passing Temple Underground Station over there on the Circle and District line. Waterloo Bridge there. Sure, these floating bars and so on are getting ready for a busy weekend. It even says the bar's open there according to the sign, but it's possibly a little bit too early yet for that kind of thing. tell you, that's something you don't see very often these days. Not lifeboats. I mean, those little collection boxes for lifeboats in fish and chip shops and pubs and things like that. Have we all turned so bad that they can't put them out anymore because they keep getting stolen? Is that what the problem is? I don't know. But I remember used to go into pubs, cafes, all sorts of places, and there'll be a number of different collection boxes in there you can pop your change into. Not that we ever use cash anymore, of course, either, but there you go, that's another story, I suppose. Yeah, lifeboats. Just going underneath Waterloo Bridge now. Nice to get a bit out of the sun for a moment, because it really is quite warm today. It's surprising how much the temperature's risen the last couple of days. Anyway, I'm using my favourite app, Go Jauntly, again today for a one-way green routing between Blackfriars and Little Venice. So it does take you, let's say, round the houses or round the back streets a little bit more, past interesting places. It will offer you a direct route or a fastest route as well, but that tends to be just along busy roads in a more of a straight line, and would have, I'm fairly sure, taken me up through Holborn and towards Tottenham Court Road in that general direction. But this takes you on a more circular route. And in fact, it offered two from Blackfriars to Little Venice. The other one going up towards St Pancras, and then completing the journey walking along the Regent's Canal. So if you've got 3.5 to 4 hours to spare, then that really would be an excellent walk. I don't have that much time today, excuse me, but yeah, you would take the walk that I'm doing now, and then Little Venice is on the Regent's Canal, and you would continue back along the Regent's Canal as far as St Pancras and back that way. And yeah, it's a similar time to this one, an hour, say an hour and 40, and roughly about the same to go back the other way. As I say, I use the Go Jauntly app, which, as a rule, most of the time will send you past interesting things to look at. So I'm sure there are others available of a similar nature, but that's the one I use. Now you can see the Houses of Parliament over there, and Charing Cross footbridge, Charing Cross Road Bridge, Railway Bridge, sorry. The London Eye, all the pleasure cruisers moored up, ready to do some expensive lunches and dinners and so on along the river. This weekend, just come up to Cleopatra's Needle here as well. The route takes me away from the river once I just go underneath the foot and railway bridge at Charing Cross and Embankment tube station. Once I've gone past there, then I'm going to be turning on inwards towards the West End, probably around Trafalgar Square. I haven't actually looked in detail at the route, I'm just following the app as I go. Really is warm. Could be at the pyramids. There's the ever lessening red phone box, and it has actually got a telephone in it. Oh look, no door though. This one has had its door pulled off. Do you know, they should just get rid of them all, because it's sorry to see them in such a bad state, to be honest with you. Most of them haven't got a phone in at all. They look like they're used as a storage room for rough sleepers and things like that, and it just it's a shame really. If we're gonna have them, then keep them looking nice, not like that, vandalised. Right, this is where we take a little crossing up to Northumberland Avenue in that general direction. Just refer to my app, see where I'm supposed to be going. And the London Eye, I'm sure you've all heard of that. Probably all been on it. Joseph Bazalgette, engineer of the London main drainage system and of this embankment. And into Whitehall Gardens. Again, it's another one of the gardens that are along the Victoria embankment. There's a few of them, and it is quite noisy today actually, despite what I said earlier, but they can be quite quiet in here, and compared to being on the other side of these trees and the fence. Doesn't seem to be the case today, strangely, but the flowers are certainly looking nice. Always kept really nice, these are. I always think things in London, the nearer you get to the Houses of Parliament and Buckingham Palace, the nicer things are kept. Which I really shouldn't be surprised about, I suppose, but there you go. Dishevelled, I think is the word I would use for those. Where you get your table tennis bat and ball from. Just bring your own, I suppose. It would be absolutely glorious in here today if it wasn't for that loud noise going on over there, like some pile driving or something going on. Really, really loud. So when it's just the traffic, it's not generally too bad in here. That's London for you. There's always something being banged, drilled or ground to a pulp. So I'm supposed to be going up there, but I've just spotted something on the other side here. Victoria Embankment Gardens Whitehall extension that this is. Looks like the Met Police, mounted police, have got their horses out to do some grazing on the grass here, which is nice to see. Have a little chat with he's enjoying that. A lot of trips to London start and finish along here because there's places for people to, places for coaches to park, and I can see absolutely loads of them from all over Europe and the UK. All parked along there. Of course, if you just go down there a little way is the Westminster Bridge, Houses of Parliament, and literally thousands of people taking selfies with Big Ben in the background, which of course has got to be done. I'm not going that way today. The app's sending me up Horseguards Avenue. As always, I've not got unlimited amounts of time to ponder along the way, so I'll crack on with that. It's nice to see the horses out grazing on the grass there. I often say it on these London walks in particular, but just about anywhere actually, even in the not so well-to-do areas of London. sometimes at ground level, not so much here, but at ground level, a lot of the buildings have had their frontages changed to meet the needs of whatever's there, such as a particular shop or restaurant, cafe, that kind of thing. And but the floors above it quite often are as they were a long time ago, or as they were originally built. So they sometimes just get permission to alter the ground level entrances. Not here, as I say, these are as they should be. But quite often you can be walking along the street that's all just looks like shop fronts and so on, but just stop for a moment and have a look up and you'll be surprised what you see and the architecture that's up there. Well, I'm delighted to say that the routing is taking me straight across Whitehall here and through to Horse Guards Parade. Again, always well worthy of a little look. And the Horse Guards are on display. Yes, they are. And the sign says, "Beware, horses bite," and they do. So beware. Seem to be skirting round Trafalgar Square actually today. That's it in the distance there. Which I'm rather glad about, because it can take an eternity to cross all the roads to get around there. Well, that's always a bonus. I mean, anything like that you can stumble across in London. Of course, you can look it up and find out when these things are going to happen. Changing of the guard and so on and so forth. It's easily available and to find out online. I tend to be a bit more of a laid-back walker. And if I see things, I see things. But that was a bonus. Certainly drew a... It was strange actually, when I first came across the road I wasn't expecting that, because there was a few people hanging around taking photos and so on. There always is, but yeah. I have to say, on a day like today with the sun shining, clear blue skies, you can't find a better place anywhere than Britain. I'll stand by that. Having said that, in the middle of January when it's pouring with rain, Tenerife probably seems more appealing. It's a beautiful warm summer's day today here in London. And lots and lots of visitors here who all appear to be having a great time, enjoying themselves, pretty laid back. For heaven's sake, if you come to London, particularly if it's for the first time and you're not desperately needing to get from A to B quickly, plan your day around walking. Walk from A to B if you've got the time, of course. The tube's great, but you miss so much. Leave that to the commuters, let them get down there, down the rabbit hole, and get to and from work quickly. Stay above ground. I even prefer the bus really for shortish journeys, because you can get on the top deck of most of them and get a good view and see what to see. Just use the tube to get you to where you want to be at the beginning and the end of your day. That's what I'll do anyway. And this is the Mall. Just by looking at the evidence, I think the horses were along here earlier. Left their trademark. We're just walking down the middle of the road on the Mall here, as are quite a few others, but that building there you see at the very end, hang on a sec. That's Buckingham Palace. And as you can see, just from this short walk so far, the amount of interesting places that you can walk past in quite a short period of time. Didn't know the Tour de France was coming through here today. A lot of people down there by Buckingham Palace, and police lights flashing, so I'm wondering what's going on. I don't think this walk's going to take me all the way down there. I'll have a look in a moment, but haven't really got time, if it doesn't, to be that nosy to go and see what's going on. Not aware of anything in particular happening in London today relating to Buckingham Palace, but you never know. Oh, two pieces of good news. One, I can hear some military bands playing down there, and some bagpipes. And secondly, this walk is actually taking me around Buckingham Palace, so in fact I can see them marching towards me. I think, or are they marching away? Can't tell at the moment. I've not been told to get off the road by anybody. Normally have a large armed police presence for these things to keep an eye out for anything going on that shouldn't be. So I'm glad I've not got those uniforms on today. Scorching. I'm walking to the rhythm. I'm marching. The drummer is doing well. I didn't quite get here in time for this, but it's all the same. That's pretty cool seeing that. When these politicians tell you you can't have a pay rise, you can't have this, you can't have that, we're going to have to close this, that and the other down. The country's bankrupt, we've got no money. Just give them a great big single-fingered salute and tell them they're liars, because this place is packed out. So these people have got no money to come here from abroad to visit London, and they're not spending any when they get here. It's a nonsense, a complete nonsense. That's my rant of the day over with as we approach the house of the privileged, very, very privileged, and walk around it, Buckingham Palace. A lot of people here today. And wow, it is busy. Not forgetting, of course, all these visitors to London are paying London hotel prices on the whole, London cafe and restaurant prices, which employs so many people. So anyway, this is Green Park over here, and we'll be heading up through there. Probably gives you an idea as to how warm it is today when you see how many people are sat under these trees having a bit of a rest. It is lunchtime, more or less, and I guess everyone's been out and about for a little while. And the Canada Memorial with signs saying don't let your children clamber all over it. Comment no further. This roadway up the side of the grounds of Buckingham Palace is called Constitution Hill. I'm going to be walking along the side of that, but on the footpath inside the park. Right, it's at the top of Constitution Hill. We'll soon be crossing on over just up here and into Hyde Park, which for my money is the nicest park in London. That and Regent's Park are my two personal favourites, although there are loads and loads here. Some quite small, some out in the boroughs, some that I've never heard of before, and then you go and visit them and they're really quite pleasant, but they're more for the benefit of the locals that live in the area, really, rather than a destination in their own right. Kingdom of Nepal, Africa, Caribbean, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. I'm sure that doesn't need any introductions. I don't think the guy on the Uber bike thinks he has to abide by the traffic lights. Just nearly took a couple of people out walking across the crossing with a green man on. Right, finally going to head across the road here. This is the point where Piccadilly becomes Knightsbridge, and it's chaotic just round here, so I'm going to just get across and into Hyde Park. Here's another funny one for you. Why do British schools, or English schools really, and well, England and Wales I think it is, Scotland's a bit different, finish for the summer holidays like weeks after everybody else? Why is that? Anybody know? I mean, I just, what made me start thinking, and I know for a fact in Europe, a lot of the countries there start their school holidays at the beginning of July. Here it's more like about the 20th, the 22nd, 23rd, a good 3 weeks later. Half the summer's gone by then. Pardon if that bad language is coming out on my video. Right, I've let someone having a really profanity filled rant get ahead of me there. Nice in the park today. It's like everywhere else in London today. It's busy, busy, busy. Didn't realise the BST Hyde Park event is still on until the 9th of July, starting on the 23rd of June. And there's some signs here showing the various performers that have been on here over the years. There's still people queuing up at the box office there, so maybe there are still some tickets left for various events. Maybe I've just lived in a box for years and not paid attention, but last time I came to Hyde Park you didn't have to pay for the toilets. You do now, and it's 20p, which I suppose is in the grand scheme of things these days is not too bad. And they do take credit card for your 20p, but they've got a kind of a weird queuing system. They only let so many in at a time. So as I tried to just pop in there for a comfort break, it told me I had 4 minutes and 35 seconds to wait. So I wasn't not that in need, to be fair, so I didn't bother in the end. But yeah, I've never seen that before. In fact, I don't think you could pay by cash. I think it was card only. Didn't see any slot to stick a 20p piece in. But there you go. Unbelievable. Here's some details of free entry and activities. Just coming up there over in the between the trees, that's the Serpentine. Serpentine Cafe, is that called? Serpentine Restaurant. where you can part with not an insignificant sum of cash for refreshments. And last time I was on the Serpentine and went on one of the little pedalo boats you can go on. I think it was about £10 for half an hour, and I'm going back probably 15 to 20 years since I last went in there. So I dread to think how much it costs now for a half an hour little splash about in there. When the app will send you on a route, normally based on the fact that there isn't most of Hyde Park sealed off by these hoardings for the events that are going on inside, and so it, in theory, had this not been here, which it normally isn't, of course, most of the year. It'll send you right the way across to the right there, so I'm having to just do a bit of a detour around the edge of it. I was wondering what all these people are doing queuing up here already in the sunshine. Right, so I just had a quick word with one of the security guys that are looking after the various gates around this event, and apparently it's Billy Joel playing here tonight, and the people waiting in the queues have paid extra to get a VIP spot or whatever in a certain area, so they're queuing there so they can be allowed in first, etc, 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 to get a good vantage point. So yeah, I was looking, I saw all the different performers that were being shown as being on at various times, the different sort of bands and entertainers I've had here over the years. I was just trying to work out in my mind, looking at the kind of the demographic, if you like, of people queuing up, and when he said Billy Joel, I thought, yeah, Billy Joel, that would explain what I've just been looking at. So I hope they all have a splendid time. I'm sure they will. They're going to be hot. I hope they've got plenty of water with them, because standing outside on this just to get in early, and I'm sure, I imagine the show doesn't start till probably 8 o'clock tonight or something like that, as it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Anyway, that's what you have to do sometimes. Right, just going to walk in the opposite direction of the crowds, really. The quiet part of the park now. This is what Hyde Park's like most of the time. It's very big, and as a consequence of the event area being sealed off, of course, and the event itself is making it a lot busier, certainly towards Hyde Park Corner end. Up this end it's a lot more quieter, a bit like I normally would expect to see it. Going to be leaving the park fairly shortly and heading up towards Paddington, just past Paddington Station, and ultimately up to Little Venice, probably just over 2/3 of the way along this route now. And it's been great so far. Been seeing some really interesting stuff. Of course, if you plan your visit to London better than I ever would do, you would look up in advance when certain things are happening and get yourself to them at the right time. But sometimes I think, what's the fun in that? Just have a little wander about and see what you see. Unless there's something obviously specific that you want to definitely catch, then aim for that. But otherwise, over planning, you could end up stressing yourself out massively in London, especially with the size of it, the size of the place, and how busy it can be at times. You need to know your limits. Definitely need to know your limits here. Just off Bayswater Road there, and as you'll see, some extremely high high-end townhouses and apartments. Well, not really apartments, are they? Townhouses. Very nice. Albion Mews. Yeah, sounds posh, doesn't it? Just leaving Hyde Park Crescent now and onto Somers Crescent. Mixture of really high-end mews and townhouses to not quite so high-end, but certainly a nice part of London to live in, that's for sure. Just come up to St Mary's Hospital, which is very close to Paddington Station. Just going to kind of go between the two really, and up to the final little stretch up towards Little Venice. Norfolk Place this is. Come on, Easy Group, seriously. Easy Hotel Paddington, look at that. Wow. That's for the awning, look at that, the state of that. And we're right parallel to Paddington Station now. That's St Mary's Hospital to my right and Paddington Station to the left. And well, Paddington Station will take you to some very interesting places out in the West Country, Devon and Cornwall, also South Wales. It's a starting point of some really good journeys, really interesting journeys. Never walked up this little side alley actually next to the station before. So there's another entrance to it up here. In fact, it looks probably like the entrance to the Elizabeth line. But I might be wrong with that. It's a very big station, there's quite a few entrances. As we get to near the end of this walk, we're just coming up to Paddington Basin and the Grand Union Canal. I'll just walk over this way slightly to get some pictures of that. Very busy down here today. Lazy Days. That's a good name for a long boat. It's firmly into lunchtime now, so all these cafes and restaurants around here are doing a good trade, and I have to say there are some lovely smells wafting around. So once I get to Little Venice, I should be having some lunch myself. Rembrandt Gardens, apparently. Yeah, not one of London's better ones, it has to be said. Right, so once we've gone under this bridge, canal, going under the road, we officially enter Little Venice. And there's a sign over there to say so. So there you go. That was that's in fact taken not much more than an hour and 40 minutes actually. Then again, I didn't stop for any great period of time along the way. I'm just going to relax here for a little while. I'll finish the video off with a few photographs and footage from around Little Venice. And I hope you enjoyed this walk. As I say, it was around about an hour and probably an hour and 50 in reality. And somewhere along the lines of about 5 miles or 8 kilometres. I've not been to Little Venice for a while. Oh, Rembrandt Gardens, so this is also, no, this is Rembrandt Gardens. That's a bit more like it. I was going to say that was just essentially a bit of grass back there. That's a bit better. I'm just going to have a mooch around here for half an hour before I head back and continue with my day. Right, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed this little walk up from Blackfriars through the centre of London. Seen a few little sights along the way. Here's a great place to end, or even indeed start a journey if you come to Paddington, or finish here. You can leave from Paddington, get back on the train or tube, Elizabeth line, so on from here. And hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. If you want to see some more, press subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Whatever it is, all the others do. And see you again soon. Bye for now.